Download the AllStar app. Make your picks for UFC fights, challenge your friends, level up and win prizes. Link in description. Get it now.
Hi everyone, I'm Karoliina and I'm from Estonia. I'm 23 years old and I'm here in Thailand, living already 4 years, and I'm doing Muay Thai and currently transitioning to MMA. I went to last year of high school and I felt like I needed a change in my life, so I tried a bunch of different hobbies. Like I tried swimming, volleyball, tennis, everything, and I didn't feel that I like any of those. And actually my mom was like, maybe you should try Thai boxing. And I was like, nah, that's weird. But at one point I was like, okay, I'll just try, like, why not? And I started with classical boxing because my dad's friend was a boxing coach and I just did it for fun. But I remember the boxing classes were at night, so it's like 9 p.m. class, all like big, hairy guys, and I was like, nah. And there was always a Muay Thai class before the classical boxing class, and we had a Thai coach actually back in Estonia, and he was always like, hi Karoliina, how are you? Like always very friendly with me, and then he was always like, maybe you should try, and I'm like, I don't know, the knees and kicks and elbows, and then one time I was like, okay, I'll try, I want to try it. And then that's how it started. Yeah, it actually went pretty fast, but I think I own a lot to my Thai trainer because we would do the class, because back in Europe it's like there's no holding pads every class like here in Thailand, but so we were always like paired up with someone else. But my Thai coach, after every session, he would take me on the pads like the first 4 or 5 months. And that's how I learned really quickly. And then one point, I think I was like training for like 4 months, and that was really when I started showing up like 4 or 5 times a week. And then he was like, I'm gonna put you in a ring in a month. I was like, what? Because for me, I just live for fitness, for fun. Like, I just wanted to do something, right? And then when he said he puts me in the ring, I was like, okay, let's go. So, and then it's funny, like I had my like final exams at the time. So I remember I had a fight, and then I had like a big exam then like a few days later, and then the first fight like was alright, and then I remember we had like a last trip, like the class trip, and then after that was graduation. So my coach was like, okay, you're gonna have a fight, and fight was exactly after the like a class trip. So I remember when we went to the class trip, everyone was drinking, partying. I went to run every day because I had to keep in shape. And I came back from Bulgaria, and it's like I did 1 pad session, and I went to fight next day in Finland, and then I came back and I had graduation the next day, and then I was like, okay, I need to go and do that for the rest. The first fight back in Estonia didn't want me to keep fighting. It really did not, and I felt like I was hit in the stomach with a rock, but I think it was because it was just so, I don't know, the anxiety and the build-up and everything, and after the release, I remember I went to sit in a bathroom and I was just like shocked. I don't know, I still remember the feeling that like something's like hit your stomach, and like, yeah, literally like I had a rock in my stomach. My stomach was so heavy, but I think it's all the like release of all the emotions. It was scary for sure, and I remember like between the rounds, I look at my coach, I was like, I don't know if I want to do it, and she was just like, if you cry, I'll slap you. So I was like, okay, I'm not gonna cry. But it was like, I think the crying didn't come from fear or anything, but it was just like, oh my God, there was like so many emotions. But like my first fight here in Thailand, like that was completely different, like always like nerves and everything, but when I went to the ring, it was just completely different, like compared to the first fight back in Estonia. Like the first fights were fine, like my parents were like, oh, just a fun, you know, it's like whatever. But like now when it's getting really serious, like my dad is fine, like he really doesn't care, but my mom's like, because my mom put me in that sport in some way, so she always tells me like, yeah, but I never thought it would be that extreme. Like when I ask her like, how you feel about me fighting, right? She's been always supporting me, but after my last fight, when it was like my first like real loss, and I got caught too, like I never got caught in a fight, so that fight really scared her off. Like, 'cause I think that's like when she realized how real it all is. But I think it's good, since once I get to I'm gonna go to MMA, it's gonna be a lot worse. So yeah, how I moved to Thailand, actually it wasn't planned at all. So I finished high school and I had 2 months till university because I had to go learn in Germany. And the school starts in October, so it was like July, and because I worked during the high school, I had a lot of money saved up, and I got some for the graduation. So I was like, you know what? I want to go travel with those 2 months. Like, and it was really, I was sitting there and I was like, where do I want to travel? Like, because last summer I did like Europe trip, so I was like, I really want to get out of Europe. And then I was like, but I do Thai boxing, so why not Thailand? And then I literally bought one-way ticket to Thailand. I was like, maybe I'm gonna stay 2 weeks, maybe 1 month. I'll see how I like it. I stayed for a year. It's literally when like I came here, I did my first like, okay, bye. Like I just decided right away. And then I remember COVID happened. So I was here for a year, and then COVID hit, and that's when like I was living with another girl, and then I remember we were like sitting in a living room, and they announced that all the beaches in Phuket will be closed, and we were looking at each other like, we don't want to get stuck in Thailand when like, because nobody knew what will happen like with COVID, right? So it kind of scared us off to be stuck in a third world country. So I just left. Like, we literally bought tickets like 2 days prior. So we was like scrolling all the time when you get the flights, and then it was very like randomly when we went back home, both of us. And then I remember I went back to Europe, and I went to university, but because it was COVID, university was online. So I was studying in Amsterdam, but living in Estonia. It's like, but I had a lot of free time because it was all online. So I kept training. I just training. But Europe was like lockdown after lockdown as well. And actually around that time I started Jiu-Jitsu too, because I had a lot of free time. And with Muay Thai gym it was like on and off closed. But my Jiu-Jitsu team, I had a friend that put mats in his like dance studio. So we were like literally me and 10 guys, and we just like roll every single day, and that's how I started Jiu-Jitsu, and I fell in love with it. So, but I remember like for a year straight when I was back at home going to university, I keep telling my like Jiu-Jitsu coach that, oh my God, I miss Thailand, I miss fighting, because I saw everyone here were fighting, but back in Europe it's like there were no fights because everything was locked down all the time. And then at one point I remember my Jiu-Jitsu coach was like, just buy a ticket to Thailand. Like, I hear you every day, and you're still here. And then I was like, I remember it was Wednesday morning after we had like Jiu-Jitsu 7 a.m. and I went home and looked at my mom like, I'm gonna go to Thailand now, like now. And my mom was like, what do you mean? It's like, I found a ticket for Monday. My mom like, what? And then it was like lockdown here too. So I had 5 days to make it like all the paperwork, because you had to stay in quarantine, you had to get your vaccines paper. I had to get a new passport because I had to scam the immigration. So I got a new passport, I make all the paperwork, and then I was sitting on a plane on Monday flying to Thailand. It's like on a random Monday, like, and then I remember I landed in Bangkok, and I went to quarantine for 2 weeks. So you sit in a room for 2 weeks, and I was sitting my second week, and the mid-second week there came announcement that the whole Thailand will be locked down. Thailand was open for a year. Everyone were fighting, and I was like, woo, I'm finally here, finally fighting. Everything locked down, Bangkok red zone. I was like, I'm not gonna get out, like because I had to come to Phuket, and I was like, I'm gonna get stuck in Bangkok in COVID. Oh, it's like worst that can happen. So, but luckily when my quarantine ended, they let me go with the same papers to Phuket. So I landed here, and the gym where I was training at the time was like very old school Thai gym, and they were open during the whole time. So, and the owner was like a big promoter, and he was like, okay, fight next month. Like there had to be a fight every month. So and the lockdown was like, I think 6-7 months, and I was in a fight camp the whole time. Like, me and the Thai boys were running every day, like 10 to 10, and like doing all the trainings. Like, we were always in a fight camp. I remember so well. Like, we were just training, and then like there was always fights scheduled up, and then eventually I remember like he was like, okay, now it's sure, like next month on the 10th of October is Super Champ is back, and that's when I got back into fighting. But yeah, actually my mom, she has the kind of like, I don't know, even like ideal, like she thinks that independence is very important. So since I was a kid already, you know, I would never have that. Like, let's say I'm out late with my friends and I could call my mom, like, can you pick me up? Like, never. So I always had to figure out myself, like, always. But and I think it's not that she didn't care, she just wanted me to, like, be responsible for my own choices, like, always. And actually, I was 15 when I went for my first, like, solo trip. I remember, no, I was 16, and then I had a friend that's 15, another friend that's 16, and I was one day like, just let's go to Germany, and they were like, you crazy? I'm like, no, I'm not. My mom says it's okay. And I remember my mom wrote my friends like letters, like, yeah, I allowed these kids go alone to Germany. And I remember me, my friend both 16, and another friend 15 went to Germany, and like, yeah, like when that age, right, alone. So that was like my first solo trip, and like my mom always pushes me to like travel alone and do stuff alone. Yeah, I think like one of the biggest things she did for me was when I got 18. In Europe they have that Interrail ticket, so you can travel to the Europe with trains, buses, ferries. I remember my mom, they made a giveaway. I remember my mom was like, just take part of it. Like, she sent me a link. She was like, just apply, you're 18, you just got 18, and it's like summer in Europe, what do you want, right? So I applied and I won the ticket. And that's how I was like, and I remember I was winning, I was looking like, I called my mom like, I actually won that. She was like, you serious? Okay, let's go. And it's just, yeah, that's how that's when I first really like traveled alone. I remember, yeah, I flew out from Estonia to Dublin. I've never been in Ireland. I had no idea how it looks like. But yeah, I think that travel, that was the summer before my last year of high school too, where like I really made a change and I started doing sports and stuff. And I think that that trip really changed everything for me, and it changed who I am. Last year at the same time, I was really like kind of, I didn't know what to do with my career or with the sport, and I was really unsure if I want to even continue, because I feel like I made a decision to start transitioning to MMA 2 years ago, right? And when I first said it out loud, it really backfired me. So I had to change the gyms because I wanted to start training MMA, and when I made the gym change, then my old gym basically banned me from fighting anything, like anywhere in Thailand, so I couldn't fight. And but I still kept training every day, and I was really like, okay, I'm gonna do MMA, I'm gonna focus, like that's literally God's plan, like I have to do it. And then a year ago, at this right time, I got finally a fight in Europe, so I had to fly back, and I left at that time Thailand like in with the dots, like I'm not gonna come back. There happened a lot of things in my personal life, so the old gym where I was at, like I couldn't finish my fight camp there. I remember my Europe fight was like in 10 days, and with the biggest personal stuff, I couldn't stay there, and then I was literally like, I don't know what to do, but I was very lucky. I had a very strong woman around me, so I was supported with very strong women, and honestly, I think they really lifted me up. Like they wanted to see me win. So I was living with one girl, and she was like, you know Chada, right? Chada Getley training at Bangtao, like I will talk to her and maybe you can go train there for the 10 days, you know? Like do this fight, like we all want to see you win, like just push it through, you know? Just go to Bangtao, it's gonna be good, like these people are good. So But in my head, I'm like, I've been in the gyms in Thailand and like, no, like it's all the same. It's always the same storyline. And it's like, and she was like, no, go. And then I remember Chada like took really good care of me. Like she really took me in and she let me live at her place and she introduced me actually to George, to Alex, to everyone. When like obviously I knew who they were, but I never really like had any contact with them. So yeah, Chada introduced us, and I remember I came here, and I'm always like very suspicious about like I don't trust anyone. And then when I came here, I remember I think it was Woody who took me to the Thais and said, okay, she has a fight in 10 days. And she needs a fight camp ASAP. And I was just like looking Woody and I was looking the Thais and I was like, yeah, well, they never seen me. They never knew if I'm gonna come back. Like, I mean, even like George, no one knew if I ever come back, if I show up again, right? But like, they were willing to help me because all of the things that happened. And then, yeah, I remember the Thais just trained me like I've been here forever. It's crazy, like, but they didn't do it because they was like told or anything. They really genuinely wanted to see me win too. Like they wanted to help me and they wanted to make me better. We didn't even train for the fight. We just trained to make me better. And I felt so good in here, but at the same time, I was still like, nah, I'm not gonna come back after that fight, you know, because I cannot fight in Thailand anyway, and I've been waiting for MMA debut for a year, and it's just, I don't know. And I went back home, I did my fight, and I was home for a month. And it's funny, actually my grandma, she was like, you know, I really want to go to Thailand. I'm like, what? Like my grandma is 81. And I was like, you want to go to Thailand? She's like, yeah, I want to go to Thailand. And I was like, okay, maybe that's a sign that like I should give a Bang Tao a chance. Like I should try Bang Tao out, right? So, and my grandma wants to go to Thailand. Like I can go for a month. So I was like, okay, yeah, let's go for a month. I did again like a 1 month trip, right? So I was like, okay, let's go. And I just trained at Bang Tao. Like it was really good. They took good care of me, and like I want to try jiu-jitsu, whatever. So remember, I came back here, and after first he's like, I'm never leaving. Like I never leave you, guys. Like George and Frank and Alex, everyone just they make you feel so good in here. I'm like, I've never felt anywhere like this. And we had another coach back then, like Eric Spicely, and he also like he made me feel so welcome. I think like he was maybe one of the first trainers I really had like good conversation, and then I was like, oh, I need to be here. Like I just felt like these people genuinely want everyone. They want to see everyone win. You know, they want to see everyone grow and get better and like evolve in every aspect of life. And I've never felt anywhere like this. And now it's just like, yeah, it just feels right. You know, I feel like I've always been like I haven't never dared to dream very big. Like I'm always like, okay, like one step forward, like yeah, I can think about that, but I've never been like, oh, what's gonna be after 10 steps, right? And then when I came here, I've never dreamed so big as I've been here, you know, and I feel like thanks to that, I'm really like, I feel like this. Of course, like the whole road is gonna be like this, but because I dare to dream big, I feel like I wanna catch those higher goals. But it's because of those people here, like, yeah, they make me believe that it's actually possible. I'm so grateful for it. Like, I've been waiting my MMA debut for 2 years, right? Like as it all comes out together, like for 2 years I've been waiting to get done my MMA debut. And I remember that I had like I got to fight Muay Thai here again, and I remember my second fight for Bang Tao. I remember Frank. I looked at Frank. Frank was like, you should fight MMA. I'm like, I know, I'm waiting for it. Like I should. And I'm very, very excited. I think I don't feel so much pressure because it's still like an amateur fight, so it's like you either win or learn. Like either way you're gonna learn, but I'm honestly very excited to see how I can use my grappling, because I feel like I've been like working on my grappling for 3 years now, and I think I haven't really had a chance to like put it on a test, like a peak test, and that's why I'm so excited. You know, sometimes even when I have a Muay Thai fight, and it's the 5-round fight. So the first 3 rounds are like sabay, and then even then I'm like, oh, like that's a shot here, right here, and I could go like this. It's exciting. It's really like I think the grappling part is the most exciting thing, and I honestly personally feel that the MMA style as a movement and everything, it suits me a lot better than Muay Thai. It makes me think more, like be more playful, because I feel like in Muay Thai I'm just like a tank. But I feel like MMA is like more playful for me, and yeah, I'm very, very excited. Of course, like the scary part is like what's gonna happen when you grapple and get punched, like all of that part. But I don't. Right now, it makes me more excited. Like it really makes me excited to see what else can I do. Like I know I can stand up. I know I can. My shin can take some punches. But how about grappling? How about the wall? Like the cage. That's so exciting. That's really exciting. And to fight for submissions and stuff. Ah. That's funny. Actually, when I first came, my name was Estonia because there's like no Estonians here, right? So everyone's like Estonia, Estonia, Estonia. Actually, Spice, that he started that. Like he started calling me Estonia, and then everyone kind of started. And then I think it was 80cc in February, and me, Chara, and Alex were trying back from it. And then Chara was like, Karoliina, Wiener, and then Alex was like, that's the one. And then Alex picked it up, and I remember like we have like a meeting and every Monday for like social media team, and then Alex was sitting there like Wiener, and everyone's like, oh. And then so everyone somehow picked it up, and it's like now everyone calls me Wiener. So thanks, Chara. Yeah, it's been a bumpy and a long road, but at the same time I feel so blessed and grateful, and I really want to thank everyone who keeps believing in me. I feel like I have so many people that believe in me and see something in me, and I promise I will prove to everyone and for myself too that there's a reason why I'm here. There's a reason why I came back to Bangtao, and why I kept at it. And yeah, I just want to say thank you everyone who's there with me, and in Estonian too, aitäh kõigile, kes mind kodus ka toetavad, ja ma olen väga tänulik kõigi abi eest ja heade sõnade eest ja heade sõnumite eest, ja loodan, et ma inspireerin veel teisi palju noori.